Welcome back to the Maths Master Blaster. We continue with grade 12 mathematics, financial maths. Today we'll be focusing on the present value. So when we're talking about present value, we'll be talking about loans that people borrow from the bank, the amount of money that you borrow from the bank, or we'll be talking about bonds, house bonds, right? So now this present value is given by a formula which says P is equal to the monthly installment, which is X, into 1 subtract. Then you open the bracket, you'll have 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative n. Then you close the bracket divided by the interest rate, right? So and then in this case now, you have your P that is amount of the loan that you have borrowed or took from the bank. We call it the present value. Call it the present value. And then we also have X up there, which is what we call the monthly installment, the amount of money that you're going to pay every month when settling, when paying back the loan or settling the loan. So that is the amount of money that you're going to pay every month into the bank so that you can settle the loan. And then also we have I, it is an interest rate. So these are the interest rate that the bank charges you based on the loan that you've took. Suppose now you take a loan of 100,000, the bank will tell you that your interest rate based on the amount of money that you took, now it will be 5% or it can be 6%. And then we have last one, we have N to be number of payments that you're going to make to settle the loan. Number of payments, right? Okay, now let's continue and see how this formula works. Okay, let's look at the first example. First example, a person agrees to pay 4,000. He agrees to pay 4,000 per month. This is what we call the monthly installment. So what is your monthly installment? That is your value of X. For how long? For 4 years on the loan. So this person is willing to pay this amount of money for the period of, he will be paying this loan for the period of 4 years at the interest rate. Now given the interest rate of what? 9% compounded monthly. Very important, compounded monthly. So now we want to calculate the PV, the amount of loan that this person took. So now let's go. We're going to have what? We're going to have P, which is equal to the monthly installment into 1 subtract. Then you'll have 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative n divided by what? Divided by interest rate. This person will be paying how much? 4,000 rand. Therefore, you'll have monthly installment, which is X 4,000 rand into 1 subtract. You open the bracket, then you'll have 1 plus. So now in this case, your interest rate is what? Your interest rate it's 9%. So you're going to write it and divide it by 100. Then you write it as 0.09, and you need to note that it's compounded monthly. Therefore, that will be divided by what? That will be divided by 12. Then we're going to have interest rate of 0.09 divided by 12 to the power. You'll have negative. Then n, that will be what? That will be 4 multiplied by 12. Then you'll have 4 multiplied by 12 because it's compounded. Compounded monthly. Then you have 0.09 divided by 12. So now in that case now, you can press your calculator. Let's see what we get. So the present value in this case will be 4,000 into then subtract into 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12 to the power negative 4 times 12. Then you close the bracket. And you have 0.09 divided by 12. Then now in that case now you're going to have an amount of, an amount of 160,739.18. So that is our present value. Okay, let's look at the second example. Now a loan of 250,000 is to be repaid. The loan of 250,000 is to be repaid over the period over 15 years at an interest rate of 11% compounded monthly. So we have compounded monthly, in this case compounded monthly. Very important. So we want to know how much will this person or how much is he going to pay for the period of 15 years, a monthly installment. So now what do you have in this case? You have you have 250,000, which is the value of P, and then you have period, which is N on number of payments that you're going to multiply by 12 because it's compounded monthly. So okay, let's go back to the formula. You have P, which is equal to X into 1 subtract into 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative N, close the bracket, divided by the interest rate. That will be equal to what? What is the value of X? That is what we are looking for. We have the present value, which is 250,000. That is 250,000. Now we're looking for the monthly installment. Then we're going to say 1 subtract. Then you will have 1 plus the interest rate. What is the interest rate? 11% divided by 100. That will be 0.11 divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly. And then we'll have negative N, which is going to be minus 15 multiplied by 12 because it's compounded monthly. Then you close the bracket, you divide by the interest rate, that is will be 0.11 divided by 12. So now let's look for the monthly installment, which is the value of X. Then we're going to have X to be equal to 250,000 divide by, then you're going to divide by everything this side, which is this. You're going to divide by that. Then how are you going to write it? You're going to write it in this form, divide, and then you write everything. There we go. Then you're going to have what? You're going to have into, you open the bracket, 1 subtract 1 plus 0.11 divided by 12 to the power negative 15 multiplied by 12. Then you close the bracket, you divide by 0.11 divided by 12. It's compounded monthly. Then in that case now you can find your value of X. Let's see what do we get as the value of X. Let's see what we get. Right, 250,000 divided by 1 subtract into 1 plus 0.11 divided by 12, and then that will be, close the bracket, to the power of minus 15 multiplied by 12, and then what you get there, you have 0.11 divided by 12. So now the monthly installment, that will be 2,841.49 cents. That will be his monthly installment. Okay, let's look at the third example. How long will it take to repay a loan of? How long will it take? So now we want to know how long will it take to do what? To repay the loan of 120,000 if the monthly installment you're given, which is this, and then you have the interest rate compounded monthly. Very important. So now let's go back to the formula. What are we looking for? We're looking for the value of N. So what do we have as formula? We have P equal to, that is P, then there is a present value amount of the loan. Then we have X into 1 subtract into 1 plus the I interest rate to the power negative N. That is the N that we're looking for. Then you close the bracket. Then we're going to have divide by the interest rate. So what is our loan? Your loan, you have it now, which is the value of what? Which is the value of P. Then you're going to have 120,000 set to be equal to what? The monthly installment, that is 3,500, and then into, then you will have 1 subtract into 1 plus the interest rate, which is 10%. That will be 0.10 compounded monthly. Then we'll have divided by 12. Then that will be to the power negative N. That is N that we're looking for. Then divide by 0.10 divided by 12. Then now let's see how we can work this out. So now in this case, you're going to cross multiply this by that. Then let's see what we get. You're going to have 120,000 multiplied by 0.10 divided by 12. Then coming back again, you're going to multiply both sides again by what? By 3. Oops, sorry. You're going to multiply both sides by what? By 3,500. So it means in that case now you will divide by 3,500. And now you are now left with what? You are now left with the bracket. This bracket now. Left with this bracket. But however, we know that from that bracket, this 1 will come to the other side, or will take it or subtract both sides by 1. Then you'll have subtract 1. Then that will be equal to what? Then now in that case, you'll be left with this part from here. In that case, now you'll be left with this part from here to there. You'll be left with this part. So now it means you're going to have what? You're going to have negative into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power negative n. Right? So now let's see the value from this side. Let's work it out, and don't round off until you get to the final answer. 0.10, then you divide by 12, it's compounded monthly, and then divide everything by 3,500, that is a monthly installment, and then subtract 1. So in that case, now what we get, we have negative 5/7 to be equal to negative into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power negative n. So now in that case, now remember we're looking for n. So we can multiply both sides by negative. Then we're going to have positive 5/7. That will be 5/7 to be equal to into 1 plus 0.10, because you have multiplied both sides by negative. That's why we no longer have the negatives. Then now we can apply what? We can apply logarithm. We're going to have negative into log, and then we have 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power, and then we'll have 5/7. Then that will be equal to what? That will be equal to, let's see. Then in that case, now you have log 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power, close the bracket, and then you have 5 divided by 7. So now in that case you get negative 40.546718206. Right? So now what will be your value of n? Then your n in that case will be 40.544. That is positive because we divided both sides by this negative n, by negative on n attached to n. Then we will have 40, which is positive. Then we'll have 54467188206 months. So now your n is equals to 40. So now how many monthly installment, how long will it take for him to repay the loan? So it will take him 40 months to pay up the loan of 3,500. So now, okay, let's look at the fourth example. So now a loan of 200,000 is repaid over 10-year period at the interest rate of 12% compounded monthly. So now with monthly payment of 2,867.74. So we want to find the outstanding balance. Note, we want to find the outstanding balance after 3 years. So the outstanding balance after 3 years. So it means this person paid for the period of 3 years. So now we want to find the outstanding balance, the remaining balance, right? So okay, so what is the first thing that you can do to To calculate the outstanding balance, you can use the formula of a present value to find the outstanding balance by saying what? By saying OB, that will be equal to, that is outstanding balance, that will be equal to, into subtract, then you'll have 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative n, and then you close the bracket, right? Then you have divided by the interest rate, right? So now we want to know the outstanding balance, meaning for the remaining years. Then we're going to have what? We're going to have our n to be 7, and remember it's compounded monthly. So now you're going to say the monthly installment, that will be 2,867.74 into 1 subtract, then you have 1 plus the interest rate, that will be 0.12 divided by 12, it's compounded monthly, and then you'll have minus 7, that is the remaining period. We now want to know the outstanding balance after 3 years. So this person paid for 3 years, and then now the remaining year will be 7 years. So we want to know that amount of money that is remaining. Multiply by 12, then you're going to have divided by the interest rate, that is 1.02 divided by 12. So now your outstanding balance in this case now will be what? Let's see. Have 2,867.74 into, then we have 1 subtract into 1 plus 1.0 divided by 12. Then we'll have what? We're going to have to the power negative 7 times 12. Then in that case now we can find the outstanding balance. Divided by 12, we can find the outstanding balance. Oops, sorry about the negative. Then now the outstanding balance will be what? Will be amount of 162,453.03. So now this will be the outstanding balance. Right, we're on example 5. So now let's go through the statement. A loan of 400,000 is taken out at an interest rate of 10% compounded monthly. So what does that mean? We have 400 to be our present value. It's a loan taken, and then also now we have an interest rate, which is I. It's compounded monthly. Then we're going to have I to be equal to 0.10 divided by 12. It's compounded monthly. So now, okay, let's continue. It is repaid by equal monthly payment of 5,000 rand. Then we have the value of, X, which is the monthly installment on our formula. So now, value of X. So starting 1 month later after granting of the loan. So now we want to know how many, by the statement now, how many payments. So they're looking for number of payments, which is what? Which is N. So now we're going to find the value of N on which this person is going to pay 5,000 rand. So how many N's of 5,000 rand are needed to be paid before the last payment, which is less than 5,000 rand? So now we're going to use the present formula, which says P it's equal to X into 1 subtract 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative N divided by the interest rate. So now we're going to substitute. We have the present value that is equal to 400,000, which is equal to the value of X, that is 5,000, into 1 subtract, open the bracket, then you'll have 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power negative N to the power negative N divided by 0.10 divided by 12. So okay, I'll move this to this part here. Then we'll have 400,000, which is equal to 5,000 into 1 subtract into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power negative N, and then close the bracket, divided by 0.10 to the power divided by 12. Then now in that case now we can solve for n. By solving for n, we'll have now this multiplied by that. Then we'll have 400,000 multiplied by 0.10 divided by 12 compounded monthly multiplied by 12. And then now we'll divide everything by what? By 5,000. So you're given 5,000, which is this here. Then that will be equal to, then that one will go to the other side. That will be subtract. Then in that case, now we'll have negative into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12. Then now in that case, now we have to the power of n. So now we can solve for n. Let's see what we get on the other side. Okay, we have 400,000 multiplied by, we have 400,000 multiplied by 0.10 divided by 12, and then everything divided by 5,000, and then subtract 1. So in that case now you get negative 1/3, which is equal to negative into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power negative n. So now which is the same as 1/3 equal to into 1 plus, you multiply both sides by negative, so it will still be the same, 0.10 divided by 12 to the power negative n. So now in that case now you can solve for the value of n. You know negative n will be equal to log, then you have your base 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12, and then you'll now have 1/3. Then you'll press your calculator from there. Then your negative n will be equal to, we have log into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12. That will be 1/3. And then n is equal to negative 132, 3, 8, 2, 021, 02148, 2148, right? And then now your n in that case, then it will be equal to what? Your n will be equal to 132.382021.02148. So how many payments of 5,000 are going to be made before the last payment, which is going to be less than 5,000? Then in that case, number of payment, that will be 132. So he's going to make 132 payments of how much? Of 5,000 rand. So now it's only 132 payments that is going to make of 1,000 rand. And the other payment, the last payment, then your n will be equal to 0.3821.02148. So now it means that payment, now your n will change, and then you will be able to calculate the outstanding balance of the following month, right? Okay, let's look at it. So now they want you to calculate what? It's here. Okay, let me make a space. Calculate the outstanding balance on the loan after the last payment of 5,000. So now you're going to use the present value to calculate the outstanding balance. Then your outstanding balance will be what? Will be equal to, then you have x into 1 subtract into 1 plus the interest rate to the power negative n, then everything divided by what? Divided by the interest rate. Now in this case, your n will be your n will be 0.38, because the payment of 132, they were already paid up with the amount of 5,000. So now you're only left with n to be equal to 0.38. That decimal there, you're only left with n to be equal to 0.38202148. So that is going to be what? That will be your n, because already you have covered payments of 5,000, which were 132 payments. So now by calculating the outstanding balance now, you will have 5,000 in this case, 5,000 into, then 1 subtract into, oops, you don't have enough space, okay, I'll write it here for you. You have your standing balance 1.3.2 to be equal to x into 1 subtract 1 plus the interest rate to the power n, and then divided by the interest rate. So now in that case, now we are looking for the outstanding balance after you have made 132 payments, which is going to be payments of 5,000 rand. And then the last one, now we have the value of x to be equal to what? The value of x, it's 5,000, that is monthly installment, and then into 1 subtract, then you have 1 plus interest rate, which is 0.10 divided by 12, and then to the power negative. Now you'll have the remaining one, the remaining n, that is 0.382021, and then it continues, right? Then it continues. You'll write it up until there. Then now you'll have what? You'll have divided by the interest rate, that is 1.0, and then divided by 12. Then from there, now you can press the calculator. Let's see what will be the outstanding balance. The outstanding balance, oops, what was our answer? Okay, so now you'll have 5,000 into 1 subtract, then you'll have a bracket, you open a fraction, then you'll have 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power, then now you'll have negative 0.38 0.38202148, right? And then you close your bracket, then you'll have 0.10 divided by 12. So now the outstanding balance for the last month, that will be 1,899.18. So this is the outstanding balance that this person is going to pay the following month. But however, this outstanding balance will gain the interest. Let's look at the last question. They say on your last question now, they say calculate the value of the last payment to settle the loan. So what will be that? Okay, let's use green. We are on this one now. So now you're going to calculate the interest for that loan that will be settled on the last month. So now to calculate the interest, we're going to use a compound interest, which is A equal to P into 1 plus the interest rate to the power n. So your n in this case will be 1, because the bank is going to charge interest based on the present amount, which is 1,899 for 1 month, because the following month you will settle the loan. Then now we'll have 1,899.18 into 1 plus 0.10 divided by 12 to the power 1. Then now you should be able to get the amount that this person will pay the following month. Then 0.18 into 1 plus 1.10 divided by 12, and then to the power 1. Then the last payment that he's going to make to the bank, that is will be 1,915.01. This money rents.